afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Contcast for this rather truncated and panic-stricken game week 27. I'm JK. With today we have the returning bowstring.
Hello.
We have Trig.
Afternoon.
And we have Boss.
Hello, hello.
I hope everyone's set for this game week. I think I pretty much am at this point after some panic. But let's get stuck straight in. With, I guess, the first big breaking news, which is the double game week announcements so far. And what do we know? Well, we know that City and United have gone into 35, giving United a double game week of Everton away and City at home, and City a double game week of Spurs away, United at home. Whilst Wolves and United have gone into 32, giving United Watford at home and Wolves away. And Wolves, obviously, United at home and Burnley away. So what is everyone making of that one? Do you want to start, Boss?
Yeah, it's a little tricky. I think it's kind of what somebody else predicted. I think on Nice Football Scout for Game Week 32. For the most part, those fixtures are looking likely to, even though they haven't announced the rest of them, it still looks fairly likely that City are going to have Fulham Cardiff in Game Week 32, which will be
well, yeah. They can't announce it till City have actually beaten Swansea.
Yeah, but it's a foregone conclusion, I reckon. But let's just say that but let's just predict that one and say that'll be the juiciest of them. Chelsea's Cardiff Brighton is another one, but
if Brighton goes into that one, because that becomes a tricky one, because obviously Brighton have that Chelsea game to reorganise, they have that Spurs game from 31 to reorganise, and if they beat Millwall, then they've got a third reorganised fixture to try and fit in.
Yeah. Another one that I do quite like the look of is Southampton's. If Brighton and Watford, that's pretty good. I know they're both away games, but I think I might start somebody like Bednarek. He might be a nice enabler for the...
that would assuming Watford, that would be on the assumption that Watford would... so that's going in, isn't it? That's gone, so that's obviously got to fit in somewhere.
Yeah.
So that would depend on where that goes. Because Brighton, they're both away, and they're not the greatest. But yeah, someone like Bednarek could be a nice little cheap enabler on a free hit.
Yeah. I'd probably be starting him on a free hit, yeah.
Yeah. So that's an interesting one. But one that's interesting for me, the reason I come back to Brighton, we've already talked about 32 for Southampton being away at Brighton. But if, say, the Cardiff fixture from 31 was moved forward, that would give Brighton a double game week of Cardiff and Southampton at home. That, from a free hit point of view, someone like Dunk or Duffy, gross or money would be very, very worthwhile a punt on a free hit with that one.
True.
Yeah. Trig, Bo, either have you got anything to add on that before we move on?
Not really. To be honest, I don't think it's changed my short-term plan at all. It's something that I'm going to worry about once we get 31 out of the way, really. So no, it won't affect any of my transfers in the next few weeks. So yeah, it's interesting to think about, but I'm certainly we've got too much to think about before game week 32 and 35. So
absolutely,
it's on the back burner for now.
Yeah.
Until I buy Nathan Redmond.
Right. So I guess coming on to that, so we've sort of discussed the blank and double game strategies in this first round of double game week announcements. So I guess the next thing to look at is which players and teams, for those of you who are looking at a free hit in 32, are obviously planning our transfers around the blanks. So what players and teams are you actually focusing on in terms of which teams play amongst them? I guess the obvious one would be someone like Pereira. But has anyone got anyone else they're looking at as maybe being under the radar?
I mean, with the news of Wan-Bissaka being out, I think Barnes may be an option. If you need funds, maybe to free up an upgrade somewhere else, maybe. But I don't know. He's been getting into good positions lately, from what I remember. I just kind of get the feeling that he's one of those players that could be dropped if he has another bad game. But I mean, at the moment, Leicester, they have a few injuries. I don't know if they have suitable replacements for him at the moment, so he may actually have to play.
So you some Barnes, but anyone for you, Mister Puntmaster Trigg?
I've got half an eye on perhaps having a look at Brooks and King from Bournemouth in the next few weeks. I think they've got a couple of nice fixtures coming up, including I think they've got a nice home game against Newcastle in 31. I think Brooks is hopefully going to be back for that. Wilson may even be back. I think I've got my West Ham cover. I think triple Liverpool's going to be essential.
Yeah. I mean, I would just say that I wouldn't really consider Bournemouth until around game week 30 because they've got Wolves away this week, and then midweek they've got Arsenal away, and then at the weekend it's City at home. So I'm not sure I'd want any Bournemouth players in at that point unless I could get away with benching them. But then, as you say, 30 it's Huddersfield at home.
Yeah.
So Huddersfield away actually is, and then 31 is Newcastle at home. So yeah, those two could be worth. I'm just going to throw this out there because I know Prof mentioned him in the chat, which was Ake. But my pick on the Bournemouth defence, if you wanted that route, would actually be Adam Smith.
I don't think I will ever buy a Bournemouth defender.
Well, I'm just going to put this out there. I have Boruc. I never actually play him, but I have him. He's just there. He's 3.9. That's why I got him, and then he turned out he was actually starting.
Yeah, I actually handy in those 2 weeks. You're right. I mean, if you're ever going to play a Bournemouth defender, it would be against Huddersfield and Newcastle, I guess. So yeah.
Well, just an example, in 33, if Boruc keeps his place, I've got the potential of Boruc at home to Burnley versus Fabianski away at Chelsea. There's the potential there that you might be better off playing Boruc.
Definitely.
Yeah, true.
So, boss, anyone you've got your eye on?
You're not going to like this one, JK.
It's not Johnny Evans, is it?
Basically, it's Wan-Bissaka's fault, really, because I was going to be playing him this week. My team's a pretty big state, and unless I take a -12, I'm going to have to get Evans because I can't afford Chilwell or Pereira.
What about a Newcastle defender instead? I'm literally going to say, I don't even care who you get, just don't get Evans.
Well,
you know how this ends.
My proposed plan is Richer to Felipe, Kiko to Evans, and Wan-Bissaka to Lejeune.
I would even take a blicking Bournemouth defender over Evans. That is how little I suggest you buy Evans. you know how this ends, boss.
Yeah, so everyone's buying Leicester defenders, right? And you're doing that because of the fixtures, not just the attacking threat that Pereira offers. And if they're going to get a clean sheet, Evans is going to get a clean sheet, unless he trolls and gets sent off or something.
He's Johnny Evans. Of course he'll troll. It's what he does.
I don't know. I might roll the dice. I'm not decided just yet. The other alternative is I do Richer to a bench fodder 4.3, 4.4 midfielder, and do Success to Arnautovic, and then that would allow me to afford better.
Bo, can you stick the link up in the Contcast group for TM, please?
Yep. I'll tag him in the one from earlier.
And I think Zof was saying he wants to join on his mobile.
Cool.
Well, I don't know how he was I think you should just be able to copy the link through from his mobile.
I'll post it up again just in case.
Righty-ho. So if you haven't, back to the discussion at hand. So, though you might not be as well, although you have seen my Twitter feed, so you probably know. But my punt this week is going to be Almiron. Cooking El top box.
Hello.
Very nice.
Going by the beach.
All right, for some.
I can't hear much, but how's it going, guys?
All good. All good.
Not as good as
right.
you.
Yeah, clearly we're not living the life of Riley over there, but yeah.
Well, you know, get away. I mean, London's cold. Why stay in London when you can fly by £5 for Ryanair to Palmer? So took a £5 flight and here I am.
Very nice.
Nice.
Can't argue.
Oh, that's it. I apologise. I can't hear everything that's being said. It might just be my... I'm getting old. It's my ears.
All right.
So, where are we at?
So we've had a bit of double game week discussion with the recent announcements. If you've seen them,
That's a double game week?
we've had the first set of confirmed fixtures.
Oh, I've missed those.
So just to fill you in, so Wolves and United has gone into 32. Derby has gone into 35.
Which is what Jarvis predicted, isn't it?
Yeah. So right now we're just talking about our potential punts for this week. So Bo was eyeing up Harvey Barnes.
Yeah.
I can't remember, who did you pick for? Who did you go for? Your game as your punt for this game, your under the radar pick.
Mine,
Yeah.
for this game week,
Well, just in general, with eyes on this game week, but getting into the blanks. I think you went for Brooks or King, didn't you?
yeah, Brooks. Well, yeah. I mean, I've signed Richarlison and not Richarlison. I've sold Richarlison. I bought Felipe Anderson and Rondon because I think they fit the bill for this week and for the next two as well.
Yep. And Boss has thrown in a Johnny Evans curveball.
Okay. No idea what to say to that, but good luck.
And for me, it's Almiron and a Newcastle defender of some description. I'm still debating of Lejeune, Lascelles and Yedlin, which is the one to go for. Shaw is actually the one to go for, but he's on 8 yellow cards. I'm not touching that one.
Yeah.
So I'll throw that question to you, TM. With the blanks, bearing in mind the blanks, etc., who would your under the radar pick with those in mind?
Yeah, I will probably join the one I've been looking at as well is Harvey Barnes, just because he's getting into such threatening positions and he shoots a lot. And I've been thinking about this recently. I mean, I don't know why I'm suddenly thinking about it now, but if you shoot more, you've got more ways of getting points. Like, if you shoot, you can get a rebound and get an assist from the rebound. Whereas if you're someone who crosses, you know, and the cross is deflected, there's no chance you're going to get this because you'll just go down as a significant deflection. So players who shoot a lot, like Harvey Barnes, they can get goals and they can get assists just by shooting. So
you can hit the post and have Bardi tap in the rebound. That works for me.
Exactly. Yeah. What's Harvey Barnes again? 5.5?
5.5, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, great value. He'd be my under the radar pick.
Yeah, I think there's a few eyeing him up, and they're all right injured. I know I was reading something earlier. I think from Niemi about Leicester playing this more 4-3-3. So they've got similar to the way Solskjaer sets United up. So you've got someone like Ndidi playing the Matic role, sitting, being the destroyer, You've got Keelemans who does the running, and then you've got Maddison who's free to roam higher up the pitch.
Yeah.
So something along those lines.
It's interesting. I noticed the world chess champion Magnus Carlsen has brought in Madison.
Madison isn't out though. That's the thing. Madison was declared a doubt.
He isn't out
by Puel.
But and it's weird that Magnus Carlsen signed in after that.
Yeah,
so either he hadn't heard the news, or he doesn't believe that or he doesn't believe Madison's actually going to be out.
Well, I mean, Leicester in the know suggest him, and I think he did say Chilwell as well. We're both going to be fit.
Yeah.
He also said Vardy was going to start, so we have to sort of both of them. So that covers it. So I think the only other issue was, before we move on to these, I think Laura's gone uber flair, and we wanted to get our thoughts on doubling up with Rondon and Almiron. So, Boss, do you want to start that one?
I think the Almiron wagon's going to end in tears. I don't think he's that good. But I think Rondon could be a really nice differential with the fixtures. He's the centre of their attack. He's not really a rotation risk. His only competition is Joselu. Whereas Almiron, I think, because he's young, he's new to the league, one iffy performance, he could get hooked early and not even start the next game. So I don't like the Almiron point, but I like Rondon.
Okay. TM? Did you catch that?
Oh, sorry, me. I don't know. I was just because, Boss, I guess you've seen a bit of Almiron play in the MLS.
A little bit, yeah. He looks lively. He looked great there, but the MLS is, I wouldn't even consider it championship level.
Right, okay. I'm looking at the XG data that I was looking at both for the last 6 matches and over the season. And Newcastle, as an attacking force, are pretty bad, to put it mildly. So unless he's going to somehow revolutionise their attack and give them an energy that they haven't had all season, then I'm not going to touch either of them. The only thing that makes me doubt it is Mark Southern's getting Rondon, which he may have done because he wanted to do it because he's now done a second transfer. So he may have done it because it fitted the price structure and he needed a player for that price range. But I'm not overly enthusiastic about Newcastle assets, to be honest. Let's talk about defence. I think their defenders, they've got their XG conceded stats are pretty good. So if you're talking about defence, okay, but I'm not big on their attack.
Right, Trig?
Obviously, I think Rondon is the greatest.
We know you love some Rondon.
I'm thinking I'm devastated as my triple captain already. Because it would have gone on him this week. No, in all seriousness, though, I think there's enough value in midfield and attack to find other avenues than double Newcastle. I think one of them with the fixtures and games in the blank is worth a punt. I think double's a bit too much. I mean, I was one of the ones who was all for having a punt on Almiron. I still think he's worth a punt, just because he's a good price, he's got good fixtures, and he might go in fresh with and make something happen for Newcastle. I'm more than happy to wait and see now. I think if he provides value, then we can all buy him. But I'm certainly in no rush to double up on a team that scores maybe 2 goals minimum per game, if that. Especially when you can get the likes of Harvey Barnes, when you can get a Wolves player for about the same price.
Wolves. If you're planning for the blank, I mean, if you're planning for the blank, Wolves aren't maybe the best option.
Well, yeah, true, but I mean, there's no point doing a Jimenez to Rondon now, for example.
No, I wouldn't know. Yeah, I would say I wouldn't necessarily sell a Wolves option, but I'm not sure I'd buy one either.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, Late Riser's joined us. Hi, Late Riser.
Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going?
Hey there, Rosa.
Riser.
Hello, Late Rider.
So just to fill you in on where we've been up to, we've discussed the potential double game week strategies, etc. We've looked at possible under the radar picks heading through this game week and into the blanks, and we're just discussing Newcastle currently and whether it's worth having. Well, basically, Loro's doubled on Rondon and Almiron.
Good luck to him.
So basically, so where do you stand on it as far as Newcastle go, both from the attack and the defence?
So I haven't seen Newcastle play against the tougher sides. I need to get some points. I have Yedlin since about 10 weeks. So I'm happy to sit on that and see if they're doing anything attack-wise. I think the next two games will help us judge that. I'm not eager to jump on early because even if they do well, I don't see them scoring 3 or 4 goals. Maybe a goal. So I don't see them, going batshit crazy. So I'm happy to just wait and see if they do bring the points.
All right. Lastly, Bo.
Yeah, I think the guys have kind of echoed what I think about Almiron. I mean, he's played 18 minutes so far. When he came on against, was it Wolves?
Wolves, yeah.
He looked involved. It might have been because they were the end of the game. He might have purposely put him a bit more advanced than he hopes to. I mean, his stats from the MLS are really, really good. But, I think of players who have come from the MLS, and I just think of like the likes of Josie Altidore and stuff like that, who didn't really kick it off in the Premier League. So it's kind of hard to judge from his stats in the MLS how he'll do in the Premier League. I mean, the 2 games you'd want him for are definitely Newcastle's next 2 games. But, I mean, will he start the 2 of them? I mean, there's only 3 days apart, 3 or 4 days apart. Benitez might kind of want to wean him into the team. I do think Rondon's not a bad pick. I'd kind of like to see the defensive stats of the teams he's playing to see, what kind of headed chances they concede, things like that. But I think after the next 2, I'm not sure how many Newcastle are going to score. They never really strike me as a team that's going to score a lot of goals, especially like in away games. Also, I mean, I wouldn't personally double up, but I think Rondon has proven himself in kind of recent games. He knows how to get a goal from nowhere, and he's shown that he can dominate in the air. But like that, I think there's other options for similar prices to Almiron, even stretching as far as Felipe Anderson, who will be quite highly owned and is expected to do quite well over the next kind of 4 or 5 game weeks. So that would be my thoughts on him anyway. I mean, great differential, but I'd prefer to go with a kind of a safer pick.
Yeah, I would say, I know Le Bleu's asked on the group, all things being equal, do you go for Almiron or Felipe? I mean, it's a no-brainer to go Felipe. I'm going Almiron because I need funds to downgrade Rika to create funds. I have Vardy, and I'm not exactly keen on doubling on Leicester attack. Again, I don't think they're one of those teams that are going to score that many games to make it worthwhile doubling on their attack. So needing a midfielder, the lack of options, I think it was worth a punt. Given, like you say, particularly, I was waiting for the press conference. Benitez says he's ready to start, and it's giving him a decision. So I think if you're going to throw him in, there's almost no better game you can throw him into than Huddersfield at home, as far as fixtures go. So I'm probably prepared to take that risk myself and use the money probably to get a Newcastle defender, though I still haven't decided which one I'm going to go for, except knowing it will be probably Lejeune or Yedlin. Probably Yedlin for safety, because just discussing it with some of the old FFS god on Twitter who are Newcastle fans, while it's 3 at the back, any of them are good. The problem is if Benitez suddenly decides to switch to a 4, it's hard to know which one of the centre halves drops, whereas Yedlin will still be starting.
On the flip side, though, I guess Yedlin as a winger, as a fullback, they do tend to get like subbed and rotated a little bit more in shorter space of time. But I guess it's not a double, so games, as long as there's a decent gap between games, I guess he's safe.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. But I could afford Lejeune or Yedlin right now in this potential.
Yeah, I mean, I can afford any of them. Shaw is the standout pick stat-wise, but he is literally worse than Holibas as far as cards go. He's got 8 in 12 starts. That is an absolutely crazy record.
Yeah.
So I'm ignoring that one and then making the decision off either Lascelles, Lejeune or Yedlin, because I know Richie's been playing wing that, but Dummett's back and they've got this Antonio Barreca fella as well. And he would also worry me is maybe, I don't know whether he's a left back or a right back. Which
And is the card threshold still at 10 at the minute, is it? I mean,
Yeah,
I can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, 10. So, Shaw could easily get booked this week, not get booked midweek, and then get booked again in game week 29, ruling him out of 30 and 31, which negates the whole purpose of buying him.
And it would be 2 match ban at 10 cards, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he gets booked in 29, if he got booked any time twice before 31, he'd miss. Pretty much miss 31. So the likelihood is he's not worth the risk.
Is it game week 32 when the threshold goes up?
Something like I think it's the end of March. So it would be around then. Right, so moving on, we'll go into the RMTs and I'll just go through them in the order in which they were posted.
My battery's going to run out shortly, so you might lose me. But yeah, I know you're really upset about that. But
so you want us to do your first?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to do a screen share?
I knew that was leading somewhere.
Yeah. So do you want to do a screen share just to make life easier on that one?
Okay.
Have you? Yeah.
I'll screen share her.
The basic question is, I'm thinking about doing Aguero to Alba.
Up with him.
Okay, can you guys see that?
I think his battery may have just gone.
Oh, okay. Well, I got his team here if you guys can see that, and we can.
Yeah. So he's like me. He's got Reach of 0.4, so he can't afford Anderson. I heard before it cut out he was looking at Aguero to Aubameyang. You back with us, TM?
Am I with you? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was looking at Aguero to Aubameyang only because I think Aguero looks a bit leggy, in my opinion, in the Champions League match. And they've got a lot of matches coming up. I just think Aubameyang might be better value for the next two.
I'm not convinced that's going to be the case either, because bearing in mind Aubameyang just played 90 on Thursday.
Yeah.
As well.
How did he look in the game? I missed it.
I didn't see it, so you have to ask one of the guys who watched it.
He was all right. I think he got 1 assist, and he was fairly lively, but in and out of the game, really.
Right. What do you think? There's basically, that's my move I'm thinking of, is Aguero to Aubameyang.
The way I look at it... Sorry, go on there, Riza.
Top marks, do you lose value on Aguero?
I got him for 11.4. I would lose 0.1.
All right. Now, can you afford something like Richarlison to Harvey Barnes and Kamara to Arnautovic or a Rondown? I'd be looking at something like that if you're looking to free hit in 32. And you can hold Aguero for the next 3 and get yourself a captaincy option this week. And everybody's quiet.
Did we lose?
I think he's frozen.
Yeah. Oh, Bo's got into the Matrix. I just thought I'd share this now. For those, I don't know if any of you still got your triple captain. I know Late Riser went with me on Aguero in 25. Boss, were you on the Sané ship in 25?
No.
Have you still? TM's back.
Hello.
Right.
Sorry about this.
Right, did you manage to catch what late riser had to say?
Yeah, about Harvey Barnes and
Yeah.
Arnautovic. Yeah, so I could only get a 4.6 midfielder if I went Kamara to Arnautovic.
What about
I couldn't-
Rondon?
Rondon!
I'm not. No. But yeah, you don't. I mean, you don't think the Aguero to Alba plan is a good one?
I mean, I think you'll want Aguero back in
Yeah.
a week's time for those three fixtures, and those three fixtures are mid fixtures. City is in top form, and Jesus having a hamstring problem just makes it a really easy decision for me. I mean, you're talking about someone who's banked 2 hat-tricks in the last 3 games. I think a lot before losing him.
What about? Because I mean, I don't think Aguero is going to get a hat trick every game. Just I don't know why. But
Yeah,
what about Aguero to Arnautovic, and then next week Richarlison to Sterling?
good option. I mean, it's a big call, right? It's
Yeah, the real question is, would you want to sell Richarlison when he's playing, having held him for a blank, to sell him before a fixture against Cardiff?
yeah. If you're replacing him for Sterling, hell yeah,
No, there is that. There is that.
yeah.
That could also work. I'd still be a bit concerned because obviously you're still sitting on Kamara, who's a dead option, and you're still sitting on Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
So it could work.
The other benefit of doing Aguero to Alba is I can also then afford Richarlison to Anderson.
But then you wouldn't be able to get Aguero back, though. And then would
I'm
you be
not
able
too
to
fussed about that.
in?
Oh,
So
and
that
you would,
kind of cuts off your City route.
yeah,
really.
that's the worry for
Yeah.
me. Doherty would be without City for the next 3.
I will just have to grin and bear it and go without City for West Ham, and then get them back in for the next 2 game weeks.
I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world. They might not even double. I mean, they probably will, but they may not double in 32 if Swansea somehow pull something ridiculous out of the bag, which seems likely enough.
Yeah.
And top marks, if you're looking at Arnautovic, you do have a 4.2 midfielder in McNeil. If you're interested in downgrading
Yeah.
and setting his
Yeah. I only have one worry with McNeil. He's been playing on the wing, and Goodmanson and Brady are both fit.
correct. I was actually going through the Burnley forums, and they rate McNeil really, really high. He's been one of the best players.
Oh, he's been good, and but there's that risk again that he's another one.
that risk.
He's a little bit like that one bad game, and he guys may opt for the more experienced guy.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're saying. But the only reason I'd be willing to take that risk maybe is because he costs 4.2. I mean, that's okay if that's lying on your bench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've lost top marks again.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So I think we've left top mark with some options there to consider. So I will go on, and I think Boss, yours was the first team posted up in the group. So if Bo wants to go ahead and bring that up.
Is Bo still with us?
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
So I've also posted 3 options in the main chat, which I could copy and paste over. But basically,
You can talk us through them.
yeah. So option A would be Richer, Kiko, Wan-Bissaka to Felipe, Evans, and Lejeune. So I know that's your choice, JK.
Absolutely.
Option B.
Evans captain, I'm assuming.
Yeah, triple captain about it. Richer, Kiko, Wan-Bissaka and success to Hojberg, Pereira, Lejeune, and Arnie, which would be a -12.
Right. I'm still waiting on Bo bringing your team up here.
Can you guys see that?
Would be Richer, Wan-Bissaka, and success to Lejeune, Barnes, and Arnie. So it's basically whether I want to stick with 3-5-2 or 3-4-3, and whether I take -8 or a -12.
Right. Is everyone else still seeing Top Marks' team on both screen?
Sorry, I think my screen froze out.
Yeah, it's a blank for me.
Okay, what do you guys see now?
No, I can see the team. No, I think I see Top Marks team.
I see Top Marks' team.
Okay, give me 1 sec.
Unless Boss wants to share it himself.
I'm not really sure how to.
I'll stop screen share and then I'll go back into it because my computer froze there.
Oh.
Okay.
So
right.
This is
Can you guys see that now?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Right, Boss, we've got it back. You can turn the camera around. Right. So there's obviously a couple of issues there with Kiko, Wan-Bissaka and Success.
Yeah. And then obviously Richard and Sterling blanking as well. So I'm looking to basically bring in at least 3 that can play this week.
Right.
But,
team.
So I think my preference is actually the option A with Felipe, Evans, and Lejeune, mainly because Arnie worries me. I'm not convinced he'll stay fit enough to play.
Yeah, I would always have that worry with him.
And then I know Felipe will definitely start, so I like that. Lejeune is, I'm leaning to take him over Yedlin as well. Mainly because I think he is a little bit safer. I'm not, and the 0.1 might be needed later on down the line. Evans is obviously a worry, but he's the cheapest route into the Leicester defence. Option C with Barnes. I'm not convinced by Barnes. I think he has a rotation risk, and obviously Arnie's an injury risk as well. So, and I don't really want to do a -12 either to Pereira in over Evans. I'm not sure if that's worth it either. But open to other suggestions.
I mean, if you're absolutely set, I mean, I like the option that involves Anderson getting in Anderson. I just wish it didn't involve getting Johnny Evans.
Well, I can afford somebody up to 4.9, and Leicester's fixtures do look better than any other option. So I'm doing it based on fixtures, really.
Do you still have a wild card, boss?
What's that, sorry?
Have you still got your wild card?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
But I'm not convinced I'd need to use it here. And
oh no! I just mean for down the line, like if transfers are a priority over the next few weeks, like or.
Yeah, I'm mainly just trying to set up for the blanks, so I can use the free hit in the big double game week.
I was going to just suggest if you did one of like Kiko or Wan-Bissaka to maybe Pereira, you could probably field 10 this week without a hit. Would that be right?
I'd have to start Bednarek.
Yeah. Like, I mean, personally, I'm in a similar situation. If Camarasa doesn't start, I'm more than likely going to have 10 players playing. But, like, I mean, I don't particularly see it being a very high-scoring week, and I'm not sure that taking, like, a -8 or a -12 is going to, you know, outweigh the positives of trying to get the, like, I think, like, if you manage to get, I'm just trying to think next week, if you manage to get 10 out this week without a hit, I mean, next week, if you play 3-5-2, it's a pretty good squad. Like, I mean, you're going to have, you know, Aubameyang, Rashford. You'll have a free transfer if you decide you want Aguero or another City. You'll have Richarlison away to Cardiff. I'm just trying to think what's better, trying to field 11 this week or look towards next week and look at the potential you've got there.
Yeah, that's true. I could just do Richard to Felipe and then Kiko or Wan-Bissaka to somebody else.
That's what I would do. That's exactly what I was about to say, actually, boss. I don't think you need a -8 there. I'd probably get Felipe Anderson in just because I think that he'll outscore Richarlison over the next 6, and then I'd probably get maybe Lascelles in for Kiko or Wan-Bissaka, just depending on who you think is more important to sell. Really.
What? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
No, I just want to say hi. It's a long time.
Hey, Zilfar.
Hi.
Hey, man.
Hello.
Hold on computer screen.
I'm hiding behind my screen share. Hello. It's probably just as well they can't see me.
Yeah, I haven't seen you guys. I haven't been on one of these things in like months now.
I don't think I had one in months.
So this is why I'm back, is it?
So, for instance, if I do Richard to Felipe, that leaves me with 5 mil left over if I replace Kiko, or 5.1 if I replace Wan-Bissaka. So I can't really afford Pereira.
No, but you could go for a Newcastle defender. You can pick a Newcastle defender up.
How much did you say Johnny Evans was?
4.8.
Oh, bang on. You could get Wan-Bissaka to Johnny Evans.
4.8 too much.
Newcastle actually have a better shot of a clean sheet, don't they?
I mean,
expected goals conceded.
It's not just that. I would say as clean sheet, as chance of clean sheet go, Huddersfield at home is about as good as you're going to get.
Mm.
Yeah.
And there's Burnley.
From a defensive standpoint, it's probably better than Fulham. From a defensive standpoint, Huddersfield is probably a better fixture than Fulham.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Massively.
Just Fulham can score, they just can't defend. Huddersfield can't do either.
All right. Well, I think that's me set then. I'll do Felipe and Lejeune in.
Right. Yeah, I'm still probably going to go for either Lejeune or Yedlin. I have that worry that Lejeune. But again, he started every game since he's been fit. Shaw hasn't, so I might chance Lejeune. Particularly, I think he's got like 0.1% ownership.
I also think Shaw, if he gets that card, he'll be suspended. So then Lejeune's completely nailed.
Yeah, that's also true. Just bringing Lejeune up, and his ownership is 0.1%. That's my type of ownership. It's not the Angana levels ownership, but it's ownership.
Yeah.
Right, so you're boss. I think I missed Swan off from the top somewhere. Although I think Swan's done his transfers. He just wants us to look at his team.
Are we doing you or Swan?
Swan. We'll use Swan first. I think he was slightly higher up.
Yeah. Let's see.
I think he's done his transfers, so I think he was just looking for.
Actually, no. He'd be down here. There he is.
Yeah, so he's done his transfers, so.
Yeah, he brought in Almiron as well.
Yeah, he brought in Almiron for Rita.
What was Swan's question then?
Nothing. He was just asked. He just wanted to know who should he. I'm guessing whether he should play Rashford or not, and if so, who for?
How can is somebody benching Rashford?
Swan.
That's crazy. Swan has too much money.
He is currently playing five in midfield. He's got Son, Pogba, Almiron, Salah, and Mane, with Alba and Jimenez up front.
Yeah, it's tough. I probably would have just not brought Almiron and just played Rashford.
Yeah, I think I would have, but I think I'd be tempted to bench Mane for Rashford, maybe. But that's just bias on my part.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mane's in a pretty good form. I don't think. Yeah, I think it is between Rashford and Almiron to bench, really.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's going to be hard to call which way the United Liverpool game goes. I mean, it could be high scoring, it could be 0-0.
Yeah,
I think it'll be high scoring.
Yeah, I think so myself.
I'd definitely be playing Rashford,
especially as the home side.
Yeah.
But then again, it's who do you drop, and you can't really drop the guy you just brought in.
No, I say if you put an hammer on for Huddersfield at home, you have to start him.
Yeah.
I'd
If you're not
probably
going to
start
play against
Rashford over
Huddersfield at home,
Jimenez.
why did you buy him? Sorry, boss, you said something then.
I'd probably start him over Jimenez.
Stuff.
So it's tough. I mean, I start him, but it's generally you could make a case for leaving out almost any of that front pair, any of those attackers, with probably the exception of Alba.
Just bench boost for Rashford.
Yeah. Even though you're sitting there with Wan-Bissaka and Ryan, who aren't even playing.
It'll probably outscore my bench boost this week. I guarantee you, if Swan bench boosts this week, it'll probably outscore my bench boost down the line.
I wonder if your bench boost outscored Johnny O's bench boost. That was a shockingly bad bench boost. So I guess it's as simple as that. We think he should play Rashford, and it's up to him whether he goes on with that and who he benches. I wouldn't bench Almiron purely because, like I say, if you bought him for Huddersfield at home, you start him. If you're not playing for Huddersfield at home, why did you buy him?
Yeah,
that's true. But then looking at that
he didn't buy him just for Huddersfield at home. He bought him because he has fixtures with those blanks.
Yeah. Well, you buy him now because of that. But you could have waited. You bought him now because of that Huddersfield fixture.
Right, I get that, but it's just very scary to bench Rashford with his ownership.
It is. No, he's the highest owned forward in the game. Live ownership, he's the highest owned.
And he's the second or third most owned player overall, I think.
Yeah.
This is where the all-out attack chip would have been nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you play your attack chip and stick Alexander-Arnold on the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Annoyingly, I think Almiron makes the most sense to bench. He has the least amount of upside.
Yeah, he probably does have the least amount because he's the unknown quantity. But I guess it's up to Swan.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's made his transfers. So if we go down, I think mine would be next. I think I'm pretty much decided now. But we can go further down. I think we're going to go further up there, Swan.
Yeah.
Further up. No, we've got to keep going. Yeah, so we've got Boston, which I could be next. Yeah. So obviously, this screenshot was before the Wan-Bissaka news, clearly, and the Doherty news. So my plan would be to do Richarlison and Wan-Bissaka to Almiron and probably Lejeune, and I'll shove Camarasa onto the bench.
Are you not interested in Pereira, JK?
I'm 0.1 short. He went up last night.
What about Chilwell, if he gets the all clear?
I don't think we'll know that before deadline. It's not worth. I'd jolly and do get Kolasinac out for Pereira after the next few good Arsenal fixtures, because Arsenal have a run of like Spurs, Tottenham, and then a blank in a row.
Yeah, true.
So I'll probably just get Pereira in then for Kolasinac.
Mm.
So I'll probably go for Wan-Bissaka to Lejeune, which only cost me 0.1, which actually makes me money because Almiron probably which saves me about £500,000. So I'll probably just go with that.
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
Probably leave the captaincy on Son. I don't see a better option on that team.
Mm.
Vardy's not consistent enough, not enough form for me to risk Vardy, even without Wan-Bissaka. I think Son is the obvious pick in that team.
Yep.
I would never captain a player at Old Trafford. So, and Liverpool are too good for me to go with Rashford or Pogba. I think Son is the standout captaincy pick there.
Yeah, I agree. And I see Camarasa. You're also in the Camarasa situation.
I've had him for ages.
Yeah.
Well, I'm probably going to shove him to the bench this week because if I'm bringing in Almiron and Lejeune, I'd rather have. I know Camarasa's on pens, but I think Warnock was saying he was unsure about him, that he's still struggling with this injury.
Yeah, it's a strange one considering he came on and set up the winner last game.
Yeah, but Warnock said in the press conference he was still struggling. So.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Seems
All
good.
right. So scroll down. I'm not sure who was next.
Do I do the Hungry Man?
Yeah, we'll do THM.
Okay, so he's got 6.8. He's strapped for cash.
Yeah.
He could nearly get another player in. Wow. Okay. See, he's got Ings.
Yeah, I think Ings has got to be a priority to shift.
Ings to Aubameyang's really tempting.
So I'm trying to get who all does he have playing first? He has 3 in defense. The 2 Liverpool
Yeah,
guys.
he's got Doherty and double Liverpool.
So that's 3. Then Son, Richarlison.
Son, Pogba, Salah, and Højbjerg in his.
Højbjerg. I ideally don't expect much from Højbjerg, so let's count that as 3 real players. There. So
Hey, 2 points is 2 points.
I mean, I would probably just do Rica to Felipe and shove Højbjerg on the bench.
Yeah.
Both Albert and Felipe.
Could you afford that? If you could afford that for a hit, that'd be ideal.
Yeah.
If you could afford Ings and Richarlison to Alba and...
From talking to him in the week, I think he does want a City player to come in midweek, though.
Yeah,
so the money in the bank is going to fund, I think.
I think he was going to look at Sterling, or I think, for Richarlison.
Yeah. I mean, could he even do Ings to Rondon and then Richarlison to Sterling in midweek?
I think that's his plan. Is to bring Rondon in this week for Ings and then do upgrade Richarlison to Sterling next week.
Lads, it wouldn't be a Contcast unless Trig was recommending Rondon.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be a season. The real question is, has Trig actually bought Rondon? Because it wouldn't be a season if Trig hasn't owned him.
He's got plenty of options there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think he'll be able to. Could he do Richarlison to Felipe, and then does that give him enough money for Ings to Aguero?
No.
You're the math teacher, Trig. You work out the prices.
I don't know how much Aguero is. I was hoping one of you guys would.
11.5.
It'll actually be really close, won't it?
Yeah.
I think he can just afford it then, because he needs what? He needs 6.1 to go. And Felipe, yes, so he can do that. He's got 0.1
Yeah,
wiggle.
Richarlison to Felipe uses 0.8.
So Felipe needs 0.6, 7.2.
Yeah,
7.2.
So he still have 6.2 left to do Ings to Aguero.
Right.
He needs a 6.1 upgrade. So yeah, so he could do that.
Yeah.
And we have to take into account this would be a -4 if he's doing the two transfers.
No, he wouldn't, because one of them would be through Sterling or Aguero. So that would be next week.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So we've got either of those 2 options. I like the second option personally because I think Felipe and Aguero probably beats Rondon and Sterling.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
And can he bench Felipe next week?
Yeah, I think he can.
Man City, isn't he?
Yeah, so I was just saying, play Digny or Dino, however you say it, next week.
He's got Digne, Robertson, Wan-Bissaka and Doherty. He could play all of them next week and put Felipe on the bench. He could play 4 at the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
And have, Felipe Højbjerg and Wan-Bis as his bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could do. I think. Well, I think if you want some City for midweek, then those are his 2 options, really.
Yeah.
It just it depends which one he prefers. I think they're both viable.
Yeah, I think he was leaning towards Sterling, but if we presented both options, and then I would prefer the Felipe and Aguero option, but Rondon and Sterling works just as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, who's next, Zembo?
Let's have a look. So we did THM, JK, we did Boss. We did Swan as well.
Good, yeah.
We did Top Marks.
Yeah.
I think that might be everybody.
I think there's Zof.
Oh, so far. Yep.
Right. Talk us through it then, Zof.
Okay, guys. The other players, that's our latest screenshot. So right now, I've already made one free transfer of Alonso to Pereira. So now, currently, I'm fielding 10, and that includes Bednarek. So what and 2.2 in the bank. Before I put forth what I have in mind, why don't you guys say what you have in mind?
Okay, let me just. So 2.2 in the bank, you say?
Yeah.
Is
Right.
that Richarlison, your third sub?
Yeah.
Well, it makes no difference what order they come in. None of them are coming on.
Oh no, I might just couldn't see the name because somebody's picture was in the way, so I honestly couldn't see who it was.
Just click the screen in front and it'll block it.
Okay, there we go. So yeah.
So the two options I can see, one is to do Kamara to Rondon.
Yeah.
And you can then probably shove one, and you can shove Wan-Bissaka down. But again, you're still left playing Bednarek. The other option would obviously be to do Wan-Bissaka and jump on the Newcastle bandwagon. But again, you're still left playing Bednarek. Or you take a -8 and do them both, and then you can bench him.
I think that's the first part of the question. Is it worth playing Bednarek or shipping him out for like a -4 for somebody who plays in 31 and 33?
Are you?
So now,
are you prioritising shifting Bednarek or shifting Wan-Bissaka?
I mean, I'd rather try to keep Wan-Bissaka because from the injury news, it doesn't sound very long term.
I mean, it's a hamstring though. They're a bit. I mean, I'm selling him not because I want to, but because I'm kind of struggling without selling him. If I'm honest.
Yeah, because I might sell him down the line, but right now, what I was thinking, I wanted to probably Richarlison to Anderson is what I was thinking. So then I would just end up benching Wan-Bissaka and playing Bednarek now. I don't mind selling him for a hit for a defender, but is there really any defender we can identify who has good fixtures in 31 and 33 besides Leicester?
No, not at this point. I'm not sure about Bournemouth or Burnley. West Ham, you've got Fabianski. That's all the West Ham defence you need.
Yeah.
And plus, they have Chelsea away in 33, so their 33 fixture is great. Even Newcastle, while they have a nice build-up, their game week 31 again is away to Bournemouth. That's like a 1-1 game. I don't see them keeping.
You've got Bournemouth and the Bournemouth themselves because they have Newcastle and Burnley at home.
So, but is it worth not taking a hit for a Bournemouth defender? I don't think that's repaying back this week, especially if Wolves are going to score.
What's stopping you though from just selling Kamara and Richarlison for Rondon and Felipe? Does that work?
Yeah, that does work. But the problem is then I wanted to do Son to Mane next week. That'll take up all my cash.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of keeping Kamara all the way till 31 because whoever I bring him in for a hit for, as long as he plays 31 and 33, is basically a free transfer.
Yeah.
Just keep him, let him rot till then. Because the thing is, if I bring in Rondon now, I'm pretty much perma-benching Richarlison for the next few weeks. And he's just going to play in 31 and 33 when he has shit fixtures anyway. So I think getting rid of him does seem to be a bit of a priority.
Is Kamara to Arnautovic too expensive?
By 0.1.
Always the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was me. Like, if I'd known about the Wan-Bissaka injury last night, I would have probably taken my hit because I'm now 0.1 away from getting Pereira because of the rise last night.
Yeah. So annoying.
So I'm also just looking at mine because so if I had the same move in mind, the Son to Mane move, and just looking at it, with Lejeune, I'd have 9.8 to replace Son with, which would give me enough. So Lejeune or Yedlin would probably be my preferences to go there, just purely from I need the cash brigade, which would rule out Lascelles and Shara's options for me anyway.
Yep. The thing is now with Bednarek is I'm going to be probably playing him next week if I bring in Felipe.
Yeah, he's got a decent enough fixture.
But now the question is, do you think a Newcastle defender outscores him over the next 2 weeks, even if they don't forget 31, 33? Doesn't Newcastle defender outscore Bednarek away home to Fulham over those 2 weeks?
I mean, I think it's almost guaranteed that he'll outscore him this week. it'd be something it'd be something if Bednarek away at Arsenal got more than Newcastle and say Lascelles at home to Huddersfield. But I wouldn't put it past Southampton or Newcastle, to be honest.
That's the thing with Newcastle. I just don't have the confidence here, just seeing how they've lost at home to Brighton, home to West Ham. They've lost a lot of these easy home games which they expect to win. As soon as Rafa has to attack and commit players forward, the team is in a bit of a shambles. So I'm a little bit wary of Newcastle there.
Yeah. I mean, you could get away with the Richard. I would maybe just do... So would doing Felipe and Rondon in give you enough to do the Son to Mane?
No, that would eat up all the cash.
Right.
That's that 1.5, 1.3, whatever is a Rondon upgrade is the money I need for Son to Mane, which I'm 50-50 on doing either way, because I might just do Hazard to Mane instead. Because I think Son has got better chances of scoring points for the next two than Hazard. I have very little faith in Chelsea at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, I'm weighing up because Son, they look bad on paper, but like you say, Chelsea away, who knows? And Arsenal aren't exactly great away from home, especially to the top teams.
Son's going to play, and Son's capable of scoring big, especially at Wembley.
Yeah, but then again, you look at, say, Mane, so you've got Chelsea away and Arsenal at home versus Watford home and Everton away. I think that probably just about favoured Mane. But if
the question is now, do I keep Hazard? Now I'll look to bring him back in for 31 if Chelsea look to show some sort of upturn. For next, because that would shape my start. Now, if I'm willing to lose Hazard next week for Mane, then I could probably do the Rondon move. Or I could even do Hazard to Mane this week, which would let me do something like Kamara to Arnautovic.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I would. You could lose Hazard this week. He's still losing a bench player. Yeah, you could do Hazard to Mane and Richarlison to Felipe. Does that work?
Yep.
Nice.
So that's something I can do as well.
And or either do the Richarlison to Felipe move, or do, and you could even do something with Kamara next week if another option presents itself.
Exactly. I want to keep the Kamara slot for that regards. I'm happy if Rondon does well this week or next week to buy him down the line. I don't want to commit to an option for that slot. I want to keep that as a gamble slot for 31. If you see Arnie perform, could bring him in at that point.
Yeah, Wilson might even be fit by then.
Wilson might even be fit because the Bournemouth and Wolves fixtures actually segue really well. I think Wolves have that fixture in 30 and Bournemouth have good fixtures starting from 30. So
yeah.
Maybe hop off there. So the Kamara slot is what I wanted to keep empty till 31.
Okay. Yeah, so it depends. If you're prepared to lose Hazard, then I would maybe do Hazard and Richarlison to Mane and Felipe. Otherwise, I would probably just do Richarlison to Felipe, but you're still there.
What about Hazard to Arnie?
And sorry, what was the second option there?
So what I was saying, instead of doing this one to Felipe, Richarlison to Felipe, I could do Kamara to Arnautovic from the money I get from Hazard to Mane.
You could. It still leaves you. Well, who have you got anyone else in mind that could replace Richarlison if you didn't get Felipe? Or would you just keep Richarlison and hold him and use him in the blank?
And then he would just be my perma bench slug in like 31, 33, or I would sell him for Felipe in 31, depending on like.
I mean, the issue I have with Arnie is, can you rely on him to be fit come game week 31?
That's the problem, isn't it? That's a big risk. That is the big question, and only time will tell.
Right. So I think there's a few decent options there. That it depends on. I think if you're going to take a hit for a double attacking hit, it's probably worth it because I think the chances of getting a higher score than playing Bednarek are reasonable.
Yeah,
I agree. I want to take an attack, not in defense.
Yeah, so if you're going to take it in attack, it's probably worth it to get Bednarek and Wan-Bissaka to your bench. Because the chances of your attackers, especially when you consider Wan-Bissaka, that whoever you sell that's blank, if you sell Hazard and Richarlison, it's effectively not a -4, it's a -2.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So that's a good idea, guys. So I'll have a look at these options. Thanks a lot.
All right. I think that's everything. Has
Captain?
anyone got anything they want to throw in? Yeah. It's no. The easy question is anyone not captaining Alba?
Yes.
You don't have Alba?
Yes. I don't have him. That's why I'm not captain.
Yeah. Me neither. Yeah, I'm going with Son.
Since I've sat through all this, I may as well ask for advice on my team.
We haven't posted.
Please ignore the bench wankery. Posting it now.
We can't ignore such things.
I'll probably get too much stick for this from the likes of Jossie, who will not allow me to set up like this whatsoever. So basically,
don't do the captain thing. Don't do the captain thing.
With the Wan-Bissaka news, do I do Laporte to just, I guess, anyone? Because I can't afford Bednarek or Wan-Bissaka to anyone good. Should I sell Laporte to maybe Pereira for another?
So have you taken a -4 already?
Yes.
My head's
in there.
My head's in overload mode trying to actually figure out who you're playing this week.
Right, so basically, I will not be able to. My 11th man is Bednarek. So, do I take another hit to do Laporte to Pereira, or do I just roll with Bednarek and stick with Laporte?
Yeah, I'd go with Bednarek. I mean, you don't have Aubameyang, so I mean, we'll all be Saints fans on Sunday.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I just don't think that. I don't really want to sell Laporte with City's fixtures. I think they are back in their groove, having 75% possession. So I think they can always keep a clean sheet. I don't really want to sell Laporte just yet. So I think I'll just roll with Bednarek as my 11th man and hope for the best.
I'm not sure whether I should start Bednarek.
After we're done with the cast, can you stay on the line and we'll do some Sky stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But of course, the other thing is, I'm still in the cup. Remember, I'm not sure if you know about this, Bo, but I'm still in the FPL Cup.
Awesome. I mean, it must be quite late now at this stage.
And my opponent has taken a -8.
Ooh.
He sold. Well, he had Hazard, so I'm guessing he sold Hazard to fund Aubameyang. Because that was probably what I would do if I was taking a -8 and had Hazard. So yeah, I think I might just take this team with a 4-point lead and see what happens. Really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this game week is going to be particularly high scoring. I think it really rests on how Aubameyang does, really. Because, I mean, there seems to be two camps of those who have Aubameyang and those who have Aguero. You know, so I think a lot depends on that Arsenal game.
Just going back to, I'd still do Laporte to Pereira. You're effectively paying for 6 games. And Laporte, I mean, surely he has goal threat, but ultimately, like, it's still 6-pointer most of the time, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
I think Laporte to Pereira is a good move for the long term. I can understand that.
Have you got a lot of value tied up in Laporte?
Yeah, I think I've had him for months and months. So
this won't be much because he's not gone up by that much. I think it's 0.2, or I think that's all.
Yeah, true.
So I don't think it's a value thing. So
yeah,
I like Pereira over there.
So just whether it's worth a hit, that's all. I mean, if Palace score tomorrow, then and Pereira does nothing, then
Right, but are you going to keep him, let's say, now in 31 and 33? Do you plan to keep him through that?
I mean, are we talking about Laporte here?
Yeah.
And if we have a look at Laporte's fixtures, he has got
Bournemouth and Watford.
Yeah, I mean, West Ham, Bournemouth, Watford. That's potentially 3 clean sheets there. What are Leicester's fixtures like?
Yeah.
They've got
Palace,
Palace at
Brighton.
home, which is nice.
Brighton at home.
Midweek. Yeah, Brighton at home, which is nice.
And then they have an away fixture to Watford, and then they are home to Fulham, which is also nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's very attacking as well, I mean.
His ceiling is much higher. The thing with Laporte, he got us your goal, but he's not still like, he's no Stephen Cocker. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Who is?
Yeah.
I mean, Pereira's home record's pretty good, but I mean, the thing is, I look at Pereira's thing was it's a long-term move because if you're bringing him in, surely you're keeping him right the way through. So.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I mean, who else is there? There's not really anyone else. I would probably do it.
But who are you keeping in 31? Have you identified which 3 to 4 players you want to keep then?
I mean, because if I look at my team, I'll probably, my next few moves will probably be, at some point, I think, same as you, I'll do Jimenez to King or Wilson in 30. Mm-hmm. I'm happy to keep Son for now, because I think...
Son against someone... That's what I would agree. You could probably sell Son in 31 instead.
Yeah, I say you can either sell Son in 28 for Mane, or you go it till 31 and do that exact move.
He's going to get injured in the warm-up now what Trigger's doing.
Yeah, this is why I would not do that captaincy move. Bench ranking is one thing, but I would never do that with my captain. It's too risky.
There'll be a massive flood in Burnley, like delays the game, postpones it. Free quarter.
Okay, I'll change it. I told you I'd get bullied into changing this lineup. Yeah.
But yeah, if you work backwards, I think probably the players you're going to keep are going to be Doherty, Pogba, and one of like Rashford or whoever, like, you have money like tied up in.
Yeah.
So my point is you're going to probably be selling Laporte around 31 anyway. So it's just a transfer down the line.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. And then I guess in midweek I'll play Robertson, Pereira, and Doherty midweek anyway. So.
And Bednarek has a good fixture as well.
True, yeah. So, I don't think I'll miss Laporte too much in midweek either. Okay, yeah, I'm swinging towards that now. I think I'll.
Okay. Just before we disappear, I know Prophet wants us to have a quick look at his team. If you can scroll down a bit, though.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
I'm eating, guys. I might vomit.
So he basically wants to know if he should do Digne to Ake for a hit. I'll leave that one to Zopa.
Jeez, I mean a Bournemouth defender in for a hit. Yeah, and he's got Simpson.
Yeah, he's basically relying on punting.
Why didn't you do a Digne to a Newcastle defender? I'd be more up for that.
I don't think it's worth the hit. I think you should just play.
I don't think it's worth the hit.
I mean, the basic issue is he says if he's relying on punting turning up to get 11.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, I think there's too much. I think there's too much focus on people trying to get 11 out this week.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you could bring in a player and you could get 2 points, or you could have Punchin who comes onto the bench for 1, and it's a 1 point swing for a transfer.
You need the right player, it's not quantity. It's about the right players who we think can score big.
Yeah, and I mean, this week, I don't think there is any right player. I mean, we're looking at people from Newcastle. We're looking at people from Leicester, from, like, if it was like a City player or a United player, well, maybe not even United given the fixture they have, but, you know, if it was someone from the top 6, I'd say fair enough, but they're very punty players.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's not just people being supposed to get 11 this week. People are looking and say, well, I can't get 11 this week. I'm aiming towards getting somewhere for the blanks. It makes sense to just do it now because you're losing Wan-Bissaka. I don't think Wan-Bissaka will play in 28. I can't see him being over a hamstring injury in 3 or 4 days. So potentially I'm looking at Wan-Bissaka with like a blank and a blank, and then I cancel that and have a look. So it's blank, Burnley away. Brighton at home is not bad if he's back by then, but then you look at another blank. So 3 blanks in 6 games. Or technically, 3 blanks in 6. So I think that would be worth losing him for. But as for the hit, Digne to Ake, I think that's a crazy move.
Looking at my team, I was like, well, I've got not many game week 31 players at this point. If I'm going to take a hit now, this is probably the week to do it, to try and field a stronger team this week and also a decent team in the one.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the key thing. But Digne to Ake, absolutely bloody not. Not for a hit. Probably not for free, to be honest.
I think I'm with you there.
Agreed.
I don't know how much money he's got in the bank, but I'm guessing he can't afford to sell Simpson. So if he was going to sell somebody, that's probably who I'd go with trying to sell.
Yeah.
Because at least Digne, you know, after this game week, Digne is fine. You know, Simpson's basically a dead option.
Yeah. And I mean, he's got Cardiff next week. Like he mightn't get many minus points next week.
Yeah, he might get 0.
Yeah, he might balance out.
Well, yeah, true. I mean, it is a good point. He could probably play Digne in midweek, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sell at all, no.
Yeah, because I would look at that and say, okay, so Sterling's going to come back in. Yeah. Like, I don't know whether he would be able to play Digne, but because presumably he's going to bring in Sterling over Puncheon.
So, he's a nice option to have because, I mean, there's probably 3 days between the 2 matches. I'm pretty sure there might be one player who will all be going, shit, he didn't play, and we may be relying on a sub.
And I think Digne will play because obviously Everton don't have a fixture of any kind. Like, it's not like City and Chelsea who have a different game. Everton are just having a rest.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Digne for there could be quite a decent. Oh, there's big news affecting Alba, by the way. Lacazette's got a 3-game ban in the Europa.
Ooh.
So that may have an impact on Alba long term.
Who did they get in the Europa League? Chelsea got Dynamo Kiev.
Yeah, Chelsea got Dynamo Kiev. I'm saying with Alba, it means he is now needed for both legs of that bronze tie.
What happened then? Did they appeal and it got...
no, it was an elbow.
Okay.
It was an elbow, so they've extended it.
Fair enough.
For violent conduct.
Interesting.
Have you seen what TXM just posted in response to your post here, Trig?
No, what?
Then
I don't have a captain.
Gets injured in the warm-up.
Don't worry about it, TH. It's my risk to take, okay?
Reward.
It's gonna happen. I'm gonna actually check who my vice captain is now, just to be safe.
You know,
yeah, I know mine is Son. I'm pretty sure my vice is Vardy.
Mine
I think I've decided to take the extra hit to get Evans, you know.
Well, I think he's that much of a troll. If you don't get him, he's gonna like get double figures.
Exactly, he's gonna get a goal or something.
Yeah.
The thing is, if I don't do it, I'm gonna start Bednarek, who's playing against my captain Aubameyang. So like,
insurance policy.
You know what? Q Evans having a clean sheet and 3 bats until the 85th minute, and then Crystal Palace will score, and he'll get an injury time yellow card.
Well,
That literally happened 2 game weeks running last season.
I can't say you haven't warned me. So.
Yeah.
Surely there's 1 week all season that he won't be a troll, and hopefully it's this week.
Yeah, it's the week. Yeah, the week you don't own him.
Yeah. I didn't post my team up, guys, but maybe we could just like run through it really quickly.
Yeah.
I'll just swap over here. Okay, can you guys see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go to the team selection page first.
Okay. So there's a big Lovren-sized hole in your defence. That's the first thing I know.
Yeah, I don't really know what to do. Okay, it's worth noting that I haven't got a wild card, so every transfer is kind of precious. Let's see. Right, so my first transfer was I had to lose one of Digne or David Luiz, and I lost David Luiz for Pereira. So obviously I'm looking at getting rid of Richarlison maybe for Anderson, and I'll just show you. I think I've quite a bit of cash in the bank.
Well, how are you playing your chips now with no wild card? That's a bit interesting now.
I'll worry about it near the time. I free hit 32, triple captain probably in 35, and I don't know about bench boost.
So why do you want to sell the Richarlison? Shouldn't you be looking to sell the likes of Lovren and Bednarek instead? Lovren's just a problem. As soon as he gets fit, he's going to get injured again. There's no...
Yeah, Lovren, he's that kind of a player.
Well, as I said, I'll be happy if I can just kind of get 10 out this week. I mean, I've no Aubameyang, so if Southampton do happen to keep some sort of a clean sheet miraculously, I mean, it'll be pretty nice. I'm not really too hopeful, but I mean, if he gets 2 points, if he gets 1 point, I mean, it could equal like I mean, if Crystal Palace score 2 against Leicester, I mean, that could be a point for Pereira. Like, I'm not overly convinced there's anyone I 100% want to bring in for a hit this week, defender. So yeah, but I'm working. I will have an extra free transfer to work on moving Lovren to somebody or Bednarek. I'm gonna just see how the kind of the next week or 2 unfolds. The kind of main question, I definitely want to bring in Felipe Anderson. What I could do is, if Camarasa is like, I'm not too concerned of getting 11 out this week. I could do Camarasa to Anderson, and it would benefit me in 31 as someone who doesn't have a wild card, because it would give me an extra player in Richarlison.
Yep.
So that's the kind of dilemma. But it could also stop me getting maybe a City player.
Yeah.
By using that cash on Camarasa to Felipe.
It's a bit tricky, isn't it? Because not having a wild card now, you can't load up on too many players who don't have blanks, because they obviously won't have double game weeks on the line.
Yeah. Like, I mean, for 32, I should be okay with the free hit. It's more so 35, but I'm just going to focus on those who kind of have the plum fixtures. I should have maybe 3 free transfers to get the kind of key players in.
Yeah.
But yeah, bench boost is going to be a bit of a problem using it, because you guys will have wild card and you can just get, players in for 35 that have a really nice fixture and just bench boost. So it kind of is what it is, but it's really a matter of losing Camarasa and maybe being priced out of a City mid, or losing Richarlison and putting myself down a player for 31.
I don't think many will have Aguero and Sterling though, so I'm not sure if you're in desperate need of a City mid.
But did you see now that the game week 32 double game week is likely to be Fulham and Cardiff?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can free here.
So 32 you're free hit, you're sorted, so you don't need to worry about a City mid there for a while.
Yeah, true, actually. That's a good point. See, the thing is, if Camarasa doesn't play at all, I'm going to be down to 10, even if I do Richarlison to Felipe.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, would it be just better to get rid of Camarasa altogether?
Yep.
But
who does
yeah.
Play on 33? Does he have confirmed fixtures?
Sorry?
Does Camarasa have confirmed fixtures in 31 and 33?
He's blanking 31.
He blanked in 31. I think it was supposed to be away to Brighton. I think it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe
and he's probably going to blank in 33 because that's the way at City.
Yeah.
So just
away to City.
I would probably just get rid. I would go for the Camarasa move.
Yeah, definitely.
So Camarasa to Felipe.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Well, I suppose the other option is if you did Richarlison, what would you do with Camarasa after this week?
Yeah, probably nothing.
So at some point you're going to have to ditch him.
Yeah, because with the blank in 31, I mean, he's probably going to become a player who plays anyway. So it might as well move him now for Felipe.
Yeah, and you can always downgrade Richarlison if someone makes himself like to a Barnes or something like that if he looks like he's worth having.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm looking at 10 players no matter what way it comes out. I mean, Camarasa might come off the bench and it's an extra 1 point. But at the expense of using a free transfer with 31 in mind, I think it will work out better long term.
I agree. I think
so it's pretty much gaining a point but losing a free transfer. And I don't think that's worth it at all.
Yeah, it's too risky. I've just noticed if I do bring in Lejeune, I've got enough to take a -8 and do Camarasa to Barnes. But then I've just got a ridiculous benching dilemma. It's not worth -8. I'm already benching Camarasa.
Yeah.
So I'd just be taking a -8 just to stick someone on the bench. Pointless move. It's something I could maybe look at next week if I wanted to.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of hold out on that transfer as long as I can, just in case we might hear anything about the Cardiff lineup tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, if he is starting, I might go with Richarlison, but again, it's going to be hard.
But again, if you go for Richarlison, you've potentially got the option. For example, you could downgrade Lovren at some point, and that'll give you some funds to upgrade Camarasa. You've got. I wouldn't worry too much if you have to keep If you have to keep Camarasa this week, there'll be ways you can you can get him out. Even if it's you wait till 31 and just buy some ridiculously uber cheap option.
And I mean, even if Camarasa does start tonight, there's no guarantee he'll even make 60 with his current injury status.
Yeah.
So it could be 1 point in 59 minutes as opposed to 1 point from a cameo.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I'm taking the hit, because Camarasa is, if I did Richarlison out with Wan-Bissaka injured, if I did Wan-Bissaka out, Camarasa is my 11th man. So if I take the hit, he's my 12th man. Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm sorted. So I think I will lose Camarasa later on this evening.
Right.
Thanks, guys. Thanks very much.
Just one last question. A or B, if you could help me out here. Felipe Anderson and Rondon, or Mane and Arnautovic?
Say that again, sorry, Zof.
Anderson and Rondon, or Mane and Arnautovic? This week, Mane would come in next week.
I think I like the first one better.
First one, because we can't rely on Arnie to stay fit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just a little bit less punty, isn't it, I think?
Yeah.
If you want to chase the upside, then definitely go Mane and Arnie, because if Arnie does stay fit, that's gold.
Yeah, B is definitely upside. A is probably safer. Anyway, boys, I've got a dash.
Thing with B is I could easily bench Arnie next week for Allison, and if I do A, then I can bench Felipe for Rondon next week. So both sort of help to the team going forward. Probably will do either of those. Good stuff, guys. All right, thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, boys.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Great. Good luck, everyone.
Good luck, everyone. Best luck.